Yo, we are here, man. Another week of the Husbands Club. It's 3 of the 4 today, man. We be in this motherfucker like look.
Hey,
Hey, switching them out, man. Busy
hey,
guys, man.
hey, shout out to SO.
Shout out to bro, man.
Yes,
Hopefully
sir.
he's somewhere drunk right now, man. Shit, man. What's been going on, man?
Ah, man, another week, man. You know how I go?
Yeah.
Another week.
Shit work and shit more work.
Yeah, what's been good with you? You've been gone for 2 weeks, bro. So what's been good with you?
Uh man, just trying to get my head on straight, bro. This has been so much going on. It'd be a year.
Okay.
Thursday. Since
Okay.
mom passed. So
Okay.
just making my adjustments and dealing with that and still trying to handle her estate, bro. Like it's been crazy. So
Mm.
um, life is life. Just taking it one day at a time.
Yeah,
man.
mentally, you straight? You doing okay? Trying?
I'm trying. I'll say that.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it
So
getting like it's getting like heavy? Like
it's real
yeah,
heavy right
yeah,
now.
yeah. Cause
A lot of shit
are you
going
like
on.
are you going over the week of that she passed like you going through? Because I remember talking to Chill, when his pops passed, it was kind of something similar when it was the anniversary. We crept up on him and
Right.
talked to him about it, because he was just like, yeah, I'm reliving that week. So that's why I was just just trying to see.
Yeah, that and just sitting there like trying to make peace of it and listening to the voicemails, hearing the voice again, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And I ain't even know it was just gonna open me up like that, man.
Yeah.
So it just kind of like put me in a different space. So I got I posted 15 years of service, which the company 3 years behind. It's 18 years of service. I mean I couldn't even celebrate it like it just
Yeah.
like I wanted to. It's just like stuff that's supposed to matter ain't even really mattering right now.
Mhm.
That's the
I
space I'm
get
in.
you. I get you. Man, this week, man, it's been a tough. Oh, man, this last week, man, was real tough mentally, man. I'm still kind of like, shit, recuperating, man. We went out of town for my wife's uncle's funeral,
Okay.
and yeah, man, it's been a real taxing month. Usually I'm the one that's kind of I'm just August is terrible for me, man. Through year after year, August is terrible. I say I'm gonna try to do better, and then I don't. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. And this this month, man, I really had to kind of be in there for somebody. Like when you're going through it, it's tough as a motherfucker, man.
Oh yeah.
That shit is tough, man. And you try to make it. You try to be there for them intentionally. You know what I mean? And being there for them, not for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yeah, man, it's been tough, man.
Right.
Mentally, emotionally, it's been real tough, man. But I'm glad to be back, though. I'm glad to be back, man. Just
Right.
one day at a time, man. That's all we got.
Yeah.
That's all we got. And yeah, man.
No,
So
I can, man. Like I said, you get to that point where I understand, man. Like it's hard to be there for people when, like you said, you mentally going through stuff too. You trying to figure out.
yeah.
And I remember you saying, your son had passed in the month of August, and then so, it's just that, when you
Mhm.
get around that time, it do get
Yeah.
kind of heavy and stuff. So I know when we had lost our best friend Chill, man, up until like that year anniversary of his death, that week was like heavy. The funeral,
Right.
Yeah.
it was heavy until he got put in the ground, and it's still, and it's 2 years, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
like, because that's like, and it's crazy. We talked about, I talked about this with my dad. That was like the first real impactful death that I had. Like I had my grandparents that like passed away,
Yeah.
but because of distance, they were in Arkansas. So I had my
So actually
moments,
by somebody
yeah,
there day to day.
day to day,
Yeah.
that really influenced and impacted,
It definitely hit different.
it hit different. Because when my grandparents had passed, it was crazy. My grandma passed the day after my 30th birthday.
Yeah.
So it was going from boom to
Jesus,
because
yeah.
but then seeing my pops, man, like just trying to be strong for him. I didn't cry until I got out to Arkansas and seeing my grandma in the actual casket, that's what made me break down, because I felt like I had to be strong enough for my dad throughout this whole time, because seeing him, I'm like, man, this is it was unexpected. It was like, if you expecting something, you can kind of, it was just unexpected. So it's just tough. So I get it, man. Like, but when our friend Chill passed, it was tough, bro. Like, it still is, man, because you're like, man, like, we got all these milestones. Like, shout out to our brother Yak. He just turned 40, and all we was just saying, like, man, Chill was 2 years away. And it would just be like that, son. So
it's man, it's tough, man, seeing people you just get close to, man, just transitioning, man. Yeah. Especially, at a young age, you know what I mean? But like I said, man, we just keep trying to take it day by day, and maybe that's the issue, man. You know what I mean? We don't really take the time out to really feel what we're, supposed to feel. You know what I mean? We just steady try to keep on,
What we do when it's not close to home, because when it's like somebody else from a distance, like, you know what I'm saying, you tend to have more compassion and make you sit back and think, like, damn. Just like when we was talking about the little kids in the car accidents, the shooting, you know what I'm saying? Like, you like, damn, like, it kind of wake you up a little bit. But when it's at home, it's like, man, like, you sitting in that stuff, and this is terrible.
Yeah.
It's that much worse.
And we try to, like, not dwell in it, and, try to just, take it day by day instead of actually feeling it. And then when it does come out, it's just, you can't control it, man. It's pretty fucking bad, man. And, yeah, my heart goes out to everybody, man, that's out there going through it, man. Life is really it's life
more than
right
a storm.
now.
It's more than a storm that came today.
Shit, man.
Yeah. I think that weather got, like you said, it's out here rocking the boat. It's rocking the boat right now, man. Because I know that's kind of where we can transition to one of the questions that you had. Did you want to open up with one of those questions you had, brother?
I think it was just. Are you used to being comfortable with how your relationship is going versus rocking the boat and voicing your opinion? Because sometimes, we do get caught up in going with the flow.
Yeah, we do. Contentment, all that.
And then that becomes enabling behavior too. So that's the flip side of that, because at some point, you're going to have a disagreement. And then everything that had been going on, it done piled up to this point. So now, how do you deal with that?
That's big, man. I think because what's so crazy is I'm dealing with it at the crib, because just having an understanding of rocking the boat right now, with my family, because you get to the point where you see contentment in them, and you want to push for more results. But then it gets to the point where, hey, if you push too much, like, am I overstepping my boundaries because the expectations that I have for you, or the potential I see in you, right. Like, but you happy where you at, and but like
that's all too. You don't want to create that resentment too, because sometimes you push somebody too hard, like they gone, they're gone, like what I'm saying, and it just, I don't know. Is there a balance?
No, I mean,
do you toe the line? Or do you just voice what you got to say and then let the chips fall where they may?
Jesus, I'm kind of. I think we as men, as husbands, are enablers.
We are.
We was talking I put it in the group chat, man. I think so many of us go by the term the happy wife, happy life, that it enables shit like this, and we sit back and we take on a bunch of BS for the sake of peace in our household or a happy wife. But it does create resentment within us.
Right.
And then when shit hit the fan, it really hits the fan because there's so much built up,
Right, because like we talked about I want to say about 3-4 weeks ago, we was talking about how the man controlling the temperature in the house.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? When you walk in,
set the mood.
like, your mood is what the house gonna be on. You know what I'm saying? So,
but the fact that is even put on us, though, it's still some happy wife, happy life type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because what about us? We are people too.
Right.
And
it sucks because it forces us to put stuff away that we actually be wanting to talk about. But then when we shut down and we don't have these conversations until we blow up, versus somebody coming in and, checking on, are you doing daily deposits, like having these conversations
Yeah.
at the start of the day and at the beginning of the day.
Right.
And that can negate some of that, you know what I mean? Because I mean, we shoulder so much as men, especially black men,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying, on a day-to-day basis,
Right.
from finances to work. A lot of us have kids, like different
Mhm.
arenas that we got to wear different hats and be strong for everybody else.
Yeah.
But who do the strong people go to?
Nah, that's real.
No,
No, I think
nobody.
what's crazy too is I think like because in my family, like dynamic, we're having like this conversation where I'm taking a step back, as far as just being, opinionated about things, and it's like I felt like me and my wife have given enough to them
Mhm.
as far as to say, hey, now it's about actions. If I gotta keep telling you to do this,
Mhm.
then it's like, what's the point? Like, am I really parenting? And then you get to questioning yourself when you just see certain things,
Yeah.
or then you start to, is it on me? No, it's not on me. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard to toe that line, because, you had those, even with your significant other, it's kind of hard to communicate like, hey, you expect more or whatever it is, it's hard to, when they content, they happy when you want more. Like,
Right.
like, how do y'all open up that conversation for that to say, "Hey, I want more,"
Yeah.
of this, or you're not reaching this standard. And it was crazy. My wife had told I'm working out, sent her a picture from from the gym, feeling myself, saying trying to get it right,
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, you perfect to me." So I just thought, I'm like, "Dang, what if she would have said, nah, you ain't, like you
Yeah.
ain't perfect, like like what if she was to come in and how would I would act if she told me I wasn't?" And that's been,
Shot holes through your ego,
man, no, because it had that question because I just questioned. Like, I know I'm not perfect,
Yeah.
but what if something was wrong? Would you come tell me?
Mm. It'd be probably seen as an attack.
Well, from experience and also and then seeing other people, like, when a woman gets comfortable, she wants you to be in that comfortable mind state. So it's like, I'll never put you in a situation where you're gonna, like, be harder on yourself. Like
Mm.
that, like you said, like, would she ever come to you and say, "Oh, nah, hell no, you need to hit them weights, a couple extra days this week," like,
It's crazy because like
but that be what we want, but
it's
we
this is
really
your
don't want to hear
communication
it in that delivery. You know what I'm
because
saying? I guess it's the delivery.
and it's crazy how social media or these phones work. You're just having these thoughts, and then you see a video of a person would have said like, "Hey, if a husband was to say that, like, can he go to his wife and say, hey, I want you to lose weight, or I want this, this, and this,' or would that be because he's like, hey, it be like that sometimes, people lives,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but can you be honest when cause that's the thing, like people. I don't know. It's crazy because it's just like that contentment, man. Like you happy with your life,
towing that line.
you towing that line, and it's tough, bro.
Yeah.
Because that's the I think that's a difficult thing
Because
in
how
marriage.
you deliver that message, then you become insensitive. You don't care.
Mhm.
Like all the expletives come out.
Right.
Well, I
So-
mean,
But also
it's
too,
twofold. I think contentment is good from an emotional emotional standpoint. Like I can be content in my marriage, but not my goals, if that makes sense. And if I still have aspirations to do further things in life, and my wife is kind of content in where she is in life, that is where we may butt heads at. So we may have a good marriage, but we're not on the same page as far as goals and drive.
Right.
So I got a question for
See.
you. Does the man's mission and goals trump the wife?
That's
And should it?
I mean, I don't know if it should trump, but there should be some
because it says Eve was created for Adam. We just going, basically, Eve was created for Adam to be
Oh,
the
shit.
helpmate, right?
Yeah.
And I ain't speaking on nobody, so I'm just talking right now. Helpmate,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, to come in and help the man to achieve his purpose in life. You know what I'm saying? That's the mission, because when a man finally gets to that purpose and find out what it is that he needs to do,
Mhm.
that's going to make everything else around him in a better situation. But a lot of times that get blinded by women's own ambition, I think.
I would say that's a crutch.
You think so?
Yeah. If you
That's
need a
crazy.
woman to push your purpose, that is something that you need to look. Now she can help you achieve it, from as your partner. But if she is the battery in your back, then that's a you issue.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying that, but I'm just saying is, if your goal, like, can you be a successful husband and a successful businessman equally?
I think you can. It's all about just organization of time. If
Well,
you really are organized, where you know what
because
direction of your business is going,
Mhm.
and you know the goals in your marriage.
right,
That was one of the things that, like I said in the group chat, like how do you have those individual goals for yourself within your marriage? Like you said, because
but
now my drive is different from my wife's drive,
mhm,
or I'm more passionate about this than she is. You see what
right.
I'm saying? Or how vice versa.
But then there is sacrifice though, because one, at some point, it's always going to trump the other, because you losing time in one arena or the other.
Well, if y'all both go getters, there's no time being lost.
But that's a big if.
That is a big if. But I mean, I guess that's where partnership comes in. That I think you can be selfish with your goals.
And for the women, like, if the woman is further ahead in her situation, I don't want to just make it
Yeah.
male dominant,
Yeah.
like that's the only mission. But if your woman's mission is farther along than yours, then it might be on you to make the sacrifice to make sure she get to where she need to get to,
Absolutely.
and then bring you up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But sometimes we get caught in being content, being comfortable, and then now it's like, not only we trying to achieve this, and then we're fighting these different battles, but we're going through it alone because of there was no sacrifice, there was no, and it's not necessarily putting the battery in your back, but just knowing somebody that's there to support you.
Right. That support is big.
That's very important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that allows you to be a better husband, a better father. You know what I'm saying? Because that level of appreciation is there. Now I feel like, oh, I'm doing the right thing. Now let me push a little harder, because this over here is going to be taken care of. This is going to be cool. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So
So I think what we got to also do as couples is have like individual goals. Like for me, as a husband, individual goals for the month.
Yep.
Just have my individual goals for myself personally, and
Mhm.
then me and my wife, we should have like we're gonna sit down and have couple goals,
Absolutely.
for the month, so that way that we both on the same page. Because I think the main thing that happens with us all is communication. Because your definition of go getter won't be the same as your wife.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? Because your wife might just feel she'll go get her by getting up and going to work and doing whatever, like just being a mom. Like that might be it.
Yeah.
But then you also have a different definition of a person who might just be an entrepreneur out doing their thing, blah blah. Everybody go getter is gonna be different, you know what I'm saying? But I think that the best thing that we need to do is just start to define what expectations, like you like to say, but it just got to be a standard. I believe, man. I just had this conversation with my family. Like, it's expectations will let you down 100% of the times, bro. It's when you expect something to happen and it don't, then you just like, then that's when the emotional part kick in for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm just like, hey, man, you
But-
know what the standard is.
But all you control is your effort, really.
True.
That's why I guess, like I said, we often can be selfish with our goals, man, where we think, well, because it's mine, that my partner can just blindly like watch. You know what I mean? And I feel like part of a true partnership is as if you also make your, or you allow your spouse to be included in whatever your goal is. They don't necessarily have to have two hands on it,
Right.
but as far as it could be, anything, shit. You if your goal is to lose weight, or you in the gym, you talk to your wife about your, a few goals, you let them show them something, or if you got a business, you can include them in something small. Um and I think that's why you maintain, like, I guess maintain the peace in your household. But if you have a goal and you just kind of like blindly, this is me, I think in a marriage or a relationship aspect, that could cause some tension.
What if the role that you're giving them, because it's yours, they want a different role or different type of, you know what I'm saying? Are you willing to open yourself up to that?
Yeah, that's me today. That because that was me having a conversation with my family, just saying,
Man,
hey,
bro.
I feel like we're all at a point where we just got to have action now. It
Mhm.
shouldn't be we shouldn't have to have family meetings after family meetings to talk
Yeah.
about the same stuff all the time. And this is what I always try to explain to my kids is that's a father's role to shut stuff down and make sure you understand what's going on. That's how the world is, and these kids, and sometimes even my wife, it can be brutal because it's like these lessons sometimes people miss,
It's a fact.
and it be tough,
Right.
for people. But this is what I be trying to explain to. This is how I want my kids to be, you know, perspective of the world to be seen because you have to, we got to shut it down as men. Hey, boom, that's it. And that's kind of where I was at today. Like, we're just, hey, man, we can't keep talking about the same stuff,
Yeah.
without action.
But
Yeah.
that's all part of communication too. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily, the words. Sometimes you just got to be a great listener, or you know what I'm saying, being able to comprehend conversation. That's all communication.
Mhm.
Because I can be talking to you and I can be saying something, and then you might take one thing out of that and take it a whole nother way. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
And that's what
And nonverbal is also communication. You know
yeah.
what I mean? You have
Absolutely.
to.
That's that
Yeah.
listening though. You know what I'm saying? Because are you listening to understand what the other person is saying, or you just listening to have a rebuttal or an opinion, or you know what I'm saying? You got to be all the way open.
But see, that's what we were talking about earlier. I think that's where resentment leads, man. It's when, like, you know, our wives or our women, they want us to tell them how we feel, except when we're unhappy or it's about them.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Like, I want to know how you feeling, except when it's about me or it's something bad about me. And then if I'm trying to communicate how I'm feeling, it becomes an attack on you.
Yeah.
So now we arguing.
Right.
So now, now I don't want to talk.
Yeah.
Or
shut down again.
we shut down, or, for those to the extreme, find somebody else to talk to.
Yeah. It happens. It happens. And that's the messed up part about it. Like I said, just you have those situations where you get in, and when you can't communicate with your significant other, that's what other option do I have? Then I'm here
Mhm.
45 hours, 40, 60 hours a week. I'm away from home. So yeah, it be like that, man, because you look for them different outlets. They do too. So it ain't just like, who do we talk to? They got
Yeah, but see,
yeah,
I just want somebody to talk to. I'm not looking for nobody to blame.
but it
Mm.
And from my experience talking to other women, is usually they're they're talking, but they're blaming somebody else.
yeah.
You know what I mean? If they're with somebody else, they're blaming him for
Right.
how she. I'm not looking for that. I just
Well, that's because a
I
lot
have
of
feelings and emotions too, and I'm trying to get them off. I'm not looking for validity or blame. You know what I
Right.
mean? I'm just trying to get how I'm feeling off.
because that's also speaking to, I think we spoke on, is just men speak through logic, and a lot of, if not most, women speak through emotion and feeling. You know what I'm saying? That's where a lot of the rebuttal, the disagreement, the not really want to hear the truth come from.
Right. I think we can be both. I just think because we get to that point where society kind of told us that men are logical and women are emotional. Because, studying love language that Esso brought up last week, you have posed that, these different things and just doing studying just to see the different stuff. Like, okay, yeah, I can be this. I can be this. I can also be this, because I do like positive affirmations and words poured into me. I do like gifts. I do like this,
Every man likes that.
So like but it's to have that understanding with it, being okay with actually communicating your emotions. Because like I said, to me, today I had to communicate those emotions effectively to my family so they don't understand that, hey, this is not negative. This is respect to where y'all going. Y'all not showing me enough to where I don't need to be stressing about the small things in life. You doing your laundry, you're gonna need clean drawers and socks. So let me stop stressing about that. As far as like with my wife go, it's just like, hey, it's like I can't look at it and just be like, you gotta push yourself.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of where it's at. Because with me, I gotta go get my results. So that way that I'm accountable for Andre, I can't be accountable for nobody else but myself. Yeah. And I think that's what a lot of people lack today is accountability.
It's a fact.
It's accountability. Don't everybody wants to blame somebody else for
You gotta have somebody to blame.
what they went through,
The
and
victim,
why they not there.
I always say this, man, and I say it time and time again. The victim mindset is the most comfortable mattress to be in.
Right.
And a lot of people just can't get out of that and go look in the mirror and say a lot of what I'm going through or what I'm feeling is because of me.
Right.
Gotta have somebody to blame. And I remember, man, I sit down, even in my household, man, I sat down with my kids, right? I sat down with my kids, the conversations with I have with my wife. And I just I like listening to them talk sometimes. Right? And sometimes they mistake it for silence, but I just like listening to them talk. Because it's a rare you hear an I did, or I'm responsible of, or it's always how you make me feel. Or you does it, or you control of how the household goes, right?
Right.
But it's like, well, what are y'all position in this? Well, what are y'all position in this house then? Where do y'all fall short at? You know what I mean? The victim mindset in a whole, it just makes me sick. I kidding. I wasn't raised like that, and it's just not. I could never move in that way. And shit, peace to those that does, man. I don't know how. But hey, man, we here.
Yeah, we
man.
got some wives. They in the chat room talking, man.
That's not true for all women. Some wives don't mind you saying how you feel as long as you say it respectfully. I always tell people in life, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Which is correct. But a lot of people don't know how to communicate.
But not only that though, like
Don't
should I have to dumb myself down to communicate how I'm feeling so you can
that's why I
feel comfortable about the message?
It's still
Like
policing how we
right, you know what I'm saying? So
You know what I'm saying?
so technically I'm not being myself, correct? So now you're getting some kind of different version, correct?
That's
right?
how you say it. Yeah. No, but that's you see, that's how you
But
say it.
but
No,
when they get off,
when they
get
say
off.
it, yeah. When y'all say what y'all say it. So and then we gotta just sit there and take it.
Right.
No, I'm at that point now in my life. I'm learning how to effectively communicate my emotions, like you said, like just to them, so that it ain't coming across. I'm not trying to come across mad or angered or something like that. But sometimes you get to that point where you blow up. And now I'm gonna say what I've been holding inside this entire time, and I don't care how it's coming out. I don't care how it's coming out because now it's coming out because now it needs to be said.
Because I think it would to piggyback on that is that delivery tends to change as time goes along, where you haven't been hearing the message. Like I've been giving you tidbits to kind of make your adjustments to what's going on now. Like we done got to a point where, the cup done went empty. So, you got to apply a little pressure, everything. Here we go.
No, it's real. Because like, I know people ain't mind readers and stuff like that. But like you said, nonverbal, all this other stuff is communication at some point. Or if I'm not talking to you about something, or if you continually talk about something and I'm not interested in that particular conversation, it should come across that we don't want to talk about it. You know, so but you know, everybody's different.
Like I say, I always think twice before I say something because men are much more
Nah,
sensitive than they portray. That ego will make you block communication as well. I mean,
talk about you, bro.
nah, she know me.
But-
I'm a shooter. I ain't. If you say something to me,
But the thing is,
you
that's
got to be ready to get it back.
but that's the communication. If you're actively listening, if it got, you know, because most men is not just gonna blow up off the whim.
Yeah.
If nothing never happened prior,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying. And if it is, now you really should be listening because there's something deeper rooted that's going on with that person. So now you need to really sit down and have a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh well, he emotional. He, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? They block out. Oh, well, you talking to me like this? I don't want to hear it. But like, are you really hearing what the words are that's coming out? You know what I'm saying? Versus the tone. You know what I'm saying? Because when women feel the tone, they feel disrespected.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's not the tone, it's the message. Like we feel so passionately about what we're saying. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily a shot at disrespect to you, but I feel so passionately about what I'm going through. So now this is my delivery. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it really sucks, man. That women, they don't like to be portrayed as the angry black woman in the workforce because they're passionate about how they speak.
Right.
When they come home and treat us the same way, you know what I mean? It's but that's the fun part about relationships, I guess, man. It's just the psychology of it all, But I don't I've been trying. I've been doing better with expressing how I feel, or attempting to express how I feel right then and there with my wife now. Usually I am the prototype of communicator, or I'm like I was verbal and then I go nonverbal. The problem is they don't pay attention to it because they're so used to taking. So if in the beginning, you know what I mean? I'll tell you how I feel. I'll tell you how I feel. But if it keep happening, eventually, I'm gonna just, all right. You take it for what it is. That's when you become nonverbal,
Right.
And now the resentment and all this is starting to build up.
Because are you listening to that person?
But
get
you ain't paying
silent?
attention to it.
Right. Did she
So-
listen to you get silent? Because that's communication.
Look, man,
It's crazy. It's
the bomb
crazy.
is ticking. You just refuse to listen to it.
Yeah.
And then when it blows up, it's like, it's like, no,
I didn't know it was like
this has
that.
been building. You know what I mean? But sometimes, man, sometimes the giver gets tired of giving. Taker don't ever.
Oh no,
Mm-mm.
absolutely not.
But what if they don't recognize they takers?
Some people don't in life. They don't.
I mean, how do you not though? How do you not? How do you not be that lack of self-awareness and not knowing that you like this person is over here like drained. Like you can see it. Like that's that communication. Like he's sitting in the corner, he listening to hate music, and you know what I'm saying. He rolling down the street bumping Mo 3, and like that. That's communication. Those are the cues, right?
I think unless you absolutely called out on it, I don't know if a taker actually
They're not gonna recognize
it. Unless you just absolutely called in on it, man. It's just sometimes it's just their way of life,
So how do you deal with that?
Removal. Simple, man. Removal of self, bro.
Right.
I mean, like I said, man, just being transparent, like you said, just communicating right away with my wife. If I learned from my past that if I sit on it, it gets worse
Right.
than what it really is. If I just speak on it right away, just think out what I want to say, what I'm trying to communicate,
Yeah.
and then say that. But with people who take friends, we had plenty of times we kept pouring in cups and
Right.
and family members pouring in cups and giving advice and doing it, and it's like, hey, I'm wasting my time. You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm being crazy
Right.
because I keep expecting a different result every time I give you advice, and now I'm looking stupid. So let me go do me. Good luck to you, you know, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. I mean, I just had this, like I said, conversation. I respect to my kids, but
Yeah.
y'all gotta show me, man. I've been pouring into you. Now you got to do this, you know. And like I said, even with my wife, hey, we got goals. We got goals, and we ain't working toward them right now. I had to be real. What are we doing? You know, hey, what are we doing?
Yeah.
The truth hurts sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Because you get content. But like you said, my ambition is a little bit different from my wife's. But I want her to be where I'm at. So it's up to me to bring her where I'm at, as far as like trying to push her to get her where. So like you said, the boat got to get rocked. Like something got to step up. We have goals that we talk about all the time. Then it gets irritating when we're not making moves to me towards those goals. And that's something that I got to communicate better to them. But it's more or less like, nah, man, let me just remove myself because I've been pouring into these cups a lot. Let me see how y'all roll with the water I already gave y'all before I keep pouring keep pouring in y'all cup and see what y'all get.
So on the back end of that, is there like a silent victory to like the smaller goals that you're reaching and you keep those to yourself, or versus sharing those because you didn't reach the point where you're not actively communicating that at that moment?
Nah, I mean, they will know when they achieve something.
Well, I'm saying they gonna see it, but I'm just saying, do you purposely keep those victories to yourself versus sharing that with your partner because they didn't, or friendship or whatever, they didn't give that recognition or
I think I try to communicate my goals to my wife, but I think at this particular point in my like where I'm at, I gotta just keep them to myself and just hold myself accountable. Because like he said, she can't be no battery in my back to make me do get up and do nothing, or even if I let y'all know what my goals, I still have to get up and
Right.
and do it, period. Whether I tell because I've done it before and we all done it. Hey man, tell me your goals, and then my life start happening, your life start happening. I forgot to call in on a Sunday and check in on you. It happens,
Right.
but now it's to the point where it's like, hey man, I just gotta keep them to me, and man, basically me and God, man, and just go after that, because that's kind of where the reality of everything was today for me. Just kind of riding here, understanding like, man, you gotta live your life and reach your goals, bro. You can't be focused on the development so much. Like you're there. I'm present as a father. I'm there as a husband. But I can't make it to where that's
You get
like you
lost
said.
in the
Yeah,
sauce.
like you said, it's trumping Andre's life. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm their life is like I got to be able to manage. There got to be a balance, because right now their needs and all that stuff is outweighing mine to the way like I'm getting stressed out on myself. Type of stuff. So it's just like, yeah, got to make it about me. There's nothing wrong with that though. So
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's a lot, man, and I guess that's what sucks about being in our position, though. You know what I mean? Especially in a household. You know what I mean? A household, wife, kids, man. It's like you're in a position that you are responsible for everybody's happiness, their ambition, their goals, their drive,
Their overall well-being, bro.
their like
but why?
that is a great
But why?
fucking question. It shouldn't be that.
And that's where I'm at. It's like society puts these roles on people. And it's like, as a father, you are expected to do all of these things, motivate, inspire, blah, blah. Like, bro, who says that? I'm gonna be that regardless, because that's who I am. But in my household, if I keep being that person, like you said, it's going on. Like, I can only cheer in the stands for you for so long before my claps blend in with everybody else. You're gonna hear my voice at the beginning, but if I keep coaching you, go to your left. My dad playing basketball, I heard him. But after a while, he blended in with the because it kept saying the same thing. He ain't rock the boat. He ain't shake it up and remove something from me to make me go work for something. Or it was just, talk. It was just now, like I tell my kids, I learned from what I felt my dad should have did with me when I was a kid. And I'm doing that with my kids. That's parenting. You see what I'm saying? That's parenting. You always try to get your kids what you feel like you didn't get as a child.
Correct.
So you get that. I always I appreciate all the positive stuff. But then I also see like, man, I wish my pops would have just been a little bit more assertive. And like, just as far as just not accepting whatever I brought. Like, nah, man, you can do better.
Fucking fact. My God. Because this is a participation trophy society. Everybody wants love just because they're doing it. But don't put no Oh, man, look, man.
Here you go.
Look, oh my God.
Here you
What?
go.
I didn't.
But then this is where it also gets this is where it also gets deep at though. Because then you look in the mirror and say, that ain't my daddy's fault that I'm where I'm at right now. I gotta be accountable for self. Because I wish my dad would have been that way, but I know now. So why ain't I applying it now? For self. But it's just like I said, organization. For me, I gotta organize like my time, because my family is on the forefront for me right now, but it's now getting to the point where we got some individuals. These kids are grown individuals now, so it's less like thinking about, hey, should I put something over here in that socket? Because they're gonna put something like after a while, you gotta know better than I taught you. Hey, yeah, you touch the stove hot, yeah, it's hot. You learn already. If you're still touching it by you when you in your teens,
Yeah.
You got a problem.
Yeah.
Man.
See, I mean, like I said, man, just just as individuals, or me growing up, and the way that these kids, the way these kids operate, and even some of the parents and our peers and shit like that. Like, I mean, when we was doing sports and shit, I didn't grow up in the era where parents came to practices. I didn't grow up in that era. You know what I mean? When you walked in that gym, man, either you a dog, or you ain't, and
you're gonna get exposed.
Ain't no fucking talking to the coaches and all that shit. You gotta go out there and you gotta do what the fuck you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when I had me and my kids, man, we had a conversation. Everybody just laid everything on the table, right? And they were like, Dad, when we want to do something, I mean, that's like all we talk about, and I'm like, oh, so y'all just gonna throw away like all this when we be kicking it and shit, right? But I said, as my responsibility as a parent, if I see that you love something, my responsibility is to push you to the best of your abilities in that.
To get there, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody has these goals, but nobody wants to do the work to get there. But at some point, I'm going to back up. And then when I back up, all of a sudden, I'm not there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's where the medium,
yeah.
where is the,
right.
And it's so crazy. We have a family group message. I had to let them know there's a difference between like stepping back and stepping away. Right now, I'm just stepping back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just stepping back and I'm watching. Mm-hmm. I'm observing. I'm still here if you need me. I'm still a dad. I'm still a husband. I'm still going to do what I do. But I'm stepping back because, like you said, I don't want to be that way. I had to communicate that so they don't feel like, oh, my husband and my dad is removing himself away from the family. Nah, I'm still here. But just I want to communicate to you guys that I'm stepping back with what I was doing as far as just how I communicated things. You have your goals and it's up to you to stick to your goals. What I'm saying?
And that's that self-awareness, like, because can't nobody want it more than you want it.
That's it.
A fucking fact, man.
And that's where I want
self-awareness.
And that's what I want my kids to see right now. It don't matter what my expectations of you are. What you expect of yourself. What's your standard? That's kind of where it's at right now.
How many times you seen the parent push a kid in a sport and that kid wanted to go do like robotics or be a doctor or something? Like, they hated it all the way through, and then they, at the drop of a dime, they went and turned and did something else.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like it go both ways, man. Because what's so crazy when you just said that, you be always having like, I wish my mom, she allowed me to dream. So that's what kind of pushed me to be an entrepreneur, because she she poured that into me. You don't got to work for nobody. You do that. And like I said, I just wish my dad would have been a little bit more assertive as far as just with my goals. It's just like saying, what's your goals? And like you said, hey, that's not it. Because, you know, these conversations I have with my son, my daughters all the time, like, you know, hey, what's your goal? Well, hey, why you can't be the best player on the team? What's stopping you from doing that? There's nothing written in stone that says this person's better than you. It's all up here in your head. Because every time I tell my kids, when I walk into an establishment, whether it's coaching, whether it's I'm the best, whatever, stepping into that building. To the point sometimes I get offended when somebody, I look at them, I feel like they don't know what I know or can do what I do. But like you said, it's about the action after that. Just kind of, you got to show. Now I got to show you what I know. And if you still ain't paying attention, you just ignorant. That you know, to what we doing, to what I'm putting out, you know. So, but them kids, sometimes you just gotta step back. It ain't I'm stepping away, I'm just stepping back.
I just, you know, in terms of me and how I'm feeling, man, when it's all said and done, I love my children to death. You know, my goal and aspiration is to, you know, create, you know, loving, productive citizens of this universe. But when it's all said and done, I have no aspirations to be the greatest father in the world. I'm more than that. But you know what I mean?
I guess the blueprint for that is just making sure they have opportunity. Whatever it is they decide.
Absolutely.
After they leave you, there's opportunity. Whatever they do with it, that's on them. Mm-hmm. So.
I mean, that's real. I mean, when I talk to my oldest daughter, I mean, majority of the time, you know, I try to talk to her from a standpoint of seeing her as a wife one day and kind of what a husband, you know, would expect, you know, from his significant other, you know, if that's what you attract towards you. But I always tell, you know, there's a standard. You know, once my daughter understands there's a standard and my son understands there's a standard, then all the other expectations would be out the window, you know, as far as just how they move through life, you know, because it can be tough out here. Because like you said, I tell my kids this all the time. I'm just trying to help you reach the highest version of yourself. Whatever that is for you, I want to help you achieve that. Whether that's to be professional baseball player, nurse, whatever it is, I want to help do that. You know, and that's why I said, even with me and my wife, we bump heads because like, hey, I know my daughter's goal is to go to Clark Atlanta. So the goal is to get as much financial funding that we can do so she don't incur much debt. But that's when we start having, we doing too much recreational spending, bro. Like, what we doing? Because if she get out of here, we know school start August 2024. We know this. Like we, as black people, sometimes, as parents, sometimes we act like we don't know Christmas is December 25th. And we scrambling, like we ain't putting money aside right now, you know, to save for those particular purchases. It's like we get to that point.
To the choir.
Man. So that's kind of where I've been at this week, man. I've been on some critique of my life, man, because I gotta get these results that I keep writing down, man. I'm just, you know, I'm not reaching them, you know, and now everything is under the microscope because I gotta look at everything and see what am I not doing right? How come I'm not reaching this? How come I'm not? And I'm not blaming nobody. I'm saying that's why I tell I'm not perfect. Yeah. I'm not reaching my goals.
If it fails, it's on us.
It's on me. Yeah. It's crazy though. Yeah. It's crazy. He said, "Preaching to the choir."
Hey man, you just like I said, man. You learn to like take the punches, man, and you keep rolling, man. That's just how we are, and it's unfortunate, but I got one that's graduated right now, man. I got one that's graduated, and she's not dependent on us. You know what I mean? And that I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean. We got one. You know what I'm saying? She's not dependent on us. She out there. She go getting, and I'm like, damn, man. You know what I mean? Like, she listened to Pops, man. You gotta go get that shit. You gotta go take that shit. You know, ain't nobody gonna give you nothing out there. Right. You gotta go get it. Learn what you need to learn. Use it. Turn it into a resource. Build you a village, and take over. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what you do. And she's been doing that. And I'm praying for the best. I'm praying for the best.
I think that's why I'm so stressed right now.
Shout out to y'all, man. Y'all, what you got to realize is you got to know what you poured in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's
The
what I meant.
foundation, you already done created the blueprint to the structure of what you need to do as far as getting where you're trying to go. You didn't already created the roadmap for them. So now it's on them to, you know what I'm saying, take the wheels. And because, like he said, that standard, she knows at this point, I cannot accept anything less than what the standard that was created by y'all.
Yeah, but you I guess, as they get older, like, when we got to a certain age, there were just some things that became habit for us.
Right.
Our parents didn't have to tell us to do them. My parents didn't have to tell me my schedule.
Right.
I didn't even really depend on my parents to take me nowhere at that point in life where they are right now. So I think the blueprint is there. It's just how certain individuals see it is what I'm a little nervous about.
I think that's what it was for me, like you said, because you become the architect of something and you help build it, but then you just want to see it work. That's where I'm at. I just want to see it work.
Right.
Because I felt like I poured enough in. And I've had these stages, like within my marriage and within being a parent, to where before Chill passed, I didn't talk a lot to my kids as far as just letting them know how I feel, just pouring into them, opening up about a lot of these things. Because I say, hey, man, this reality set in. This can happen to, we all have dreams and aspirations of living to old. Well, at least I do. We don't know if that's going to happen. So let me try to get this information out to these people around me that are important, that I know can be sponges. And now it's to the point where I had to really sit back and say, you know what? I can go create a business, have 100 houses, do all this X, Y, and Z, and you died. It could go to waste, bro. Like, so stop trying to build up these things to last and just live your life, bro. Because we chase these, we have certain goals or certain way we want our life to go, and when we don't reach, well, for me, you don't reach or it's not going in that direction, I tend to be like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like,
But what's your why though? Don't let what you think gonna happen after you gone define what you do today. You know what I'm
No.
saying?
I mean, my goal for my why is still just to be great, to be the goals I have for myself is just to be the highest version of I see. Like you said, just a business owner. Not only just a real estate, but I'm talking about property development, all of these things. Not just the regular. I'm trying to have my own brokerage with people, so I can help out other real estate agents, because I know what I'm dealing with right now with fees and just the need of help, just of structure and different things. So it's figuring out my why. But like I said, that's for me.
Right.
So now if I go get 100 houses, I leave it to my kids. I can't expect them to have the same passion for real estate. All I can do is just try to teach them the business of it and teach them why it's important to keep it in the family or set it up in a will to where it can't go nowhere.
I'm about to rock the boat. Why leave it to your kids? If you're not, it's not gonna go anywhere.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, because me and my wife had this conversation a lot. I can leave stuff to my kids. I can leave something to her, but the goal is to build for them, because we want to make sure they're financially, better off where we were at. Assets, financial literacy, just like you said, the opportunity for more right now. So, that's what we're looking at, because I know what leaving assets would do, because that's what helped a lot of other people wealth.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah. So that's in you creating a structure where, each kid or whatever got to reach a certain milestone, be at a certain point in their life. Creating a trust, the financial literacy stuff that what you're talking about, but like having checkpoints in place. You can do this.
Yeah.
To where, that keeps them striving, because they know they're going to get something at this point. Right. At this point. And then now it's like you're reprogramming them to get out of their own way. Now, Dad said, this is the blueprint. I got to take this path. You know what I'm saying? Because what I was doing wasn't working.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can put them checkpoints in place.
Yeah. I think that's what I'm a work on, being a little bit better at putting all that around. But for me, it's just like, I got to go get my results, and then you got to go get yours. Mm-hmm. And there's a blueprint to get it. Right now, you got to figure it out, because this is how life is. Because I always tell my kids, not gonna be around. This is the reality of life. Like 'cause everything that you going through right now, you see what I'm saying? But you're more and siblings are different because you in different space and your sister in a different space as far as just how y'all moving.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because you moving a little bit different because it's just the people.
Yeah.
Like you understand what I got to get done. Certain people just move different because that's just how they wired.
Right.
You know, because like me and my sisters, we wire different. It's four of them, it's one of me. My mom talked to me all the time just about the difference, and she sees it. My mom, she gives me the same support, but not like it is with my sister now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, hey, you know, it's just like how they view men. Like you should be a little bit stronger. You shouldn't need my, you know, but you know, my parents are very supportive. But
That's crazy. That I mean, a cool little transition, but just loving them in their love language and showing them, you know, because she might not love you. She'll love you the same, but it looks different when she gives it to them. You know, each other
Yeah.
individual.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every you know kid or person ain't gonna get the same reaction from the same love.
true, true. That's real. I mean, I look at it though, like it's just at this point, man. I think that for me, I just want to see people get their results. Kind of because that's where I'm at in my life with me pressing myself to get my results.
Yeah.
You know, and like you said, with these raising these kids, it's a lot of old school values that didn't get passed on from,
Mhm.
and I think that our generation of parents be the problem. Not like that, but like you said, we always say that. I remember my parents when they had us as kids, they went out like that. They went out. They had a good time. They clubbed and did all what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
But there was that sacrifice that they made. And it seemed like people want the, you know, they don't want to make a sacrifice. They
Yeah.
want to have a turn up. They want to be
Mhm.
irresponsible. They want to, you know, do this and do that and just, you know, I don't know. It's just crazy how, you know, the message that is coming across. Because if social media is a whole different thing, because I be trying to talk to my kids about, you know, it's just crazy because
That
they be
shit
talking,
ain't
man,
real.
yeah, man, that pound town and this freedom talk and all this other stuff. I'm like, man, I get it, bro, but you know, it's like at some time we got to start bringing some class back to, you know, to being individuals, man. I
Yeah.
get being nasty is cool, man, but everybody, it's like crazy how it's going. It's crazy how this next generation is coming up, bro. They think that, you know, what was taboo and what people, man, they turned up times 10 at these high schools. Drugs, sex,
Yeah.
it's turned up, you know, and
Now I mean, just even kids just threatening. Oh, I got a gun in my backpack. Like, come on now, really?
Yeah, it's different, man. It's different. It's
Hella,
different,
bro.
it's
Hella
different.
different, bro.
Hey, before we get up out of here, yeah, I was talking about it briefly last week. Has that been a good tool for you guys' relationship, the love languages
uh for
for
me,
marriage?
for me, I doing my research since me and SO talked about it. I've been learning, you know, and looking at different stuff, even with my kids and understanding like, you know, who is who. You know, and they pretty much all of them are, you know, you can tell who is who. You know, my oldest daughter, she's me. She's a physical person. You gotta go do it, get it
Yeah.
done. You know, my other two, they more positive affirmations, more words and stuff like that. And you just gotta be positive with. Then also seeing that I need more positive affirmation. I need more water poured into my cup. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm more of a, if you didn't pick that up, then you didn't do what I wanted you to do, type of thing. Instead of it, I know you love me still, you know what I'm saying? But pour some water, pick it up, and then also tell me,
Yeah.
you know, just whatever the stuff is. Because like you said, SO brought that up. I was like, yeah, I didn't get that a lot when I was younger. That
Yeah.
positive affirmation. My mom did, but my dad, he was just, you know, like,
Go with
What?
the flow. Me, it's just I'm now at the point where it's just I got to check in with myself. You know what I'm saying? And like all those languages, like all those affirmation stuff, all that stuff, like that was something that was never given to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm navigating different waters and so trying to get that to come out of me to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And like being aware of what they're going through. You know what I'm saying? And trying to uh, talk to them in that manner and act a certain way with them in a certain manner. Like it's Whew, it's tough, bro.
That's
It's
what-
tough
that's what
because
to talk about next week.
because sometimes it takes you away from being yourself too, though. You know what I'm saying? So that self-awareness is a
All right, but tell the people, man, where they can find y'all, man. Another week down, man.
Uplifted Lax on IG, Millionaire Lax on IG, also Millionaire Lax on Facebook as well.
Hey, man. Tired of your lease call Grease, man. We active in these streets, man. Y'all know how it go, man. Anything real estate needed, man, hit me up. Rental questions, interest rates, FHA, conventional, hit your boy up, man. Also, Grease Balls, baby, man. That's my other page, man. Shout out to my partner Storm, man, my artist that I'm working with,
Shout
man.
out, man.
Storm out here moving. I do appreciate that interview you did with him, man. It was
Always.
dope, man. Got a different perspective on him, and he just dropped the EP too, man. So, yeah, go check that out, man.
All right, man. Just call me Spence, man. The Husbands Club every Sunday. Well, might be changing. We'll keep
Football
y'all.
season.
We'll keep y'all updated, man. Next week we up out here.